Kids. I'm here with...
My name's Xavier. I am an electrical engineer and also the first guest, which feels very good. Very exciting to be the first guest on the podcast. So tell me, what's the deal for today? What are we gonna get into?
First, we're gonna talk about you being an engineer. Y'all overworked as hell.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I'll start with this. I feel like being an engineer, a lot of the thing about being an engineer is just like, it is a lot of work, but like it really just teaches you a lot of time management shit. Although we are overworked as fuck, they really just be putting as much homework as they can.
Except y'all don't get paid.
You don't get paid. We're paying.
We're paying to be a sweatshop worker.
Exactly. It's pay to lose in this society right now in NC State. But what it can do to you, like technology is crazy, man. That shit will send you down a rabbit hole.
Like your friend.
Yes.
You want to share the story of your friend who's lost in the sauce?
Lost in the sauce. My man got lost in the MetaVerse before the MetaVerse was even a thing. And I feel like this is an interesting case study on how online use can sort of lead down this crazy ass path. So I knew this guy for about 10 years. Like 10 years, most of my life. We were good friends for my just all through high school, elementary school, middle school. We all went to the same school. So, we were really close. And around high school year, he got more into like online, like kind of subculture type stuff, right? So he downloaded Discord. Told me to get Discord because he wanted us to play games online. The gateway drug, exactly. It's scary, man. Yeah. So, I download Discord, he downloads Discord, we're using it primarily, at least I only used to use it to sort of talk to him, like who the fuck uses TeamSpeak and Skype?
Exactly.
It's the modern era.
Unless you're 30.
30. Unless you're 30 and you play like Arma 2 or something.
Yeah, sure.
So, he uses it and he sort of branches out and he meets new people on Discord, but he never really gets like super involved with them. And on one of his birthdays, or I think for Christmas, he had gotten a VR headset, HTC Vive. And that was like when the Vive was sort of new.
The Vive was Vive.
Exactly. And Oculus, the Quest hadn't came out yet. So VR was like a relatively new thing, and VR chat had just come out maybe like a year, maybe a year and a half before he had gotten it.
Right.
And so, the first thing he does, VR chat is where the whole Ugandan Knuckles meme was like everywhere.
Yeah.
That terrible meme. And so he gets on VR chat and he starts meeting new people, right? And I'm like, that's cool. People, you do that when you play video games, you meet new people online.
Also in real life.
Also in real life, you go and you do your shit and you meet new people. Now, I started noticing a shift from before he got in VR into after he started playing VR chat. He was starting becoming a lot more distant from us, my group of friends, which was like 3 of us. It was 4 in total, including him. And he started getting more distant. Like he'd be like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off for tonight," and then he'd hop on VR chat. He wouldn't turn off his Steam thing, so you could see he gets on VR chat. We're like, "All right, bro,
you're not slick.
You're not slick." And it started happening more and more, and he starts talking about these people that he met in VR, and I'm like, I don't know these dudes, but sometimes it's pretty interesting stories and interesting content to hear about, listening how he did this in VR chat, how he went this crazy world where there was like they were playing Call of Duty and shit, and I'm like, that sounds kind of lit. And then I would say 2019, disaster struck, bro. He literally got sucked in. It's like his soul was getting given to the VR chat gods.
Got his soul sucked.
Yeah, he did. He met this girl online in VR. It's e-girl, bro. Met her on VR chat. Starts talking about her. I'm like, this is not a real person, but it's straight. She's online. You don't really know her, but I'm not gonna be dissing her or anything.
You know what? Take it easy.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm just talking to him about it. Then he starts saying like, oh, I went out. I asked her out. She asked me out. Whatever. They got together, right? Now keep in mind,
they haven't met.
They haven't met in person.
She could be a 50-year-old man.
She could be a 50-year-old man with a voice changer. I think now at this point she's not, but I'll get to that in a bit there. So he starts talking about her all the time. I'm like, all right, it's whatever. on his Discord statuses, all that shit, it'll be talking about her. I'm like, bro, he's literally getting sucked into the void. All he does is talk about these people he meets on VR, goes on VR chat all the time. So he has like now at this point when he went out with this girl, he has like 700 hours on VR chat. Crazy amount of hours. Like it's 700 hours isn't like an insane like it's not 5,000 hours, but keep in mind this is with school. He's going to school still in high school, and all he does is talk about her and VR chat, and it's this and that's like I'm watching this dude just become like become part of the metaverse. Like Mark Zuckerberg wishes he could get this much involvement with the metaverse because this shit is crazy. Like keep in mind, right? Like I feel like for you, for example, have you ever been so infatuated with someone that you've never met before that you would start changing life choices over this person you've never seen in real life?
No, I've never reached that point.
That's crazy that someone could do that, right? It's keep in mind, he went from.
Some people are down atrocious.
My man was down sinister.
Yes.
I've never seen someone so just completely and utterly fall down this pit. And it was almost like it was very sad because I felt like I was losing someone who was just so close to me. It was like, oh my god, I literally it's not like the feeling where you have a friend for a long time and then it's like you drift apart and you're like,
whatever. It's
bound to happen at some point. Some people stick around for a long time, some people don't stick around for that long, and life's life. It wasn't like that. It was like, damn.
It was almost like, your guy friend gets a girlfriend and slowly gets away.
Yes, except this girlfriend is for me it's like 1 to 0, bro, right? Like she's just a Discord username and not a person. So that feeling that I feel like everyone knows, you get your friend gets a girlfriend, or if you're a girl, everyone gets a boyfriend.
Yeah, your girlfriend gets a boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, and you sort of get that crazy drift where it's like, damn, now that I spend that much time with me, I feel like so-and-so is taking my friends away. It was like that, but
sequence of ones
and zeros, right? You're only seeing these people inside a VR headset. So I sort of lost that connection with them, and it's crazy how just involved people can be with Discord. And this is not the first time I've seen this happen, bro. It's a whole sequence.
Oh, really?
This is the type of shit that people who are in engineering have. This is what happens to them, man. You want
just the losers, or
just the losers, hopefully. But I mean, even he was that much of the loser. He was a nerdy guy, but my man really went down the pit. It was crazy. This is the type of shit you hear about.
Did he ever have a girlfriend, or is this?
So that's an interesting thing, right? I don't think, as far as I recall, unless he never told me about it, he had never really actually had a girlfriend, right? So maybe this was his first relationship. And it's someone online. But you would think that after 2 years, you would become god damn, I can't even meet this person. I can't go on a date with them in person. I can't go eat. I can't hug them. So what are you doing? You know what I mean? You're talking.
I guess that's enough for him.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I can't really talk, but it's it's just very bizarre that was enough for me to be content. So it's a really interesting scenario that happened. But you hear about this a lot. This is not a very uncommon thing for, I feel especially in the field of people who are the best in their high school. You think about the top people in your high school. Who do you think about, right? What's your idea of the top 10 people in your high school?
You're kind of the best.
Besides that, what type of character traits do you think they would have?
They're probably really driven at what they want to do. They're incredibly focused.
Right.
They're type A achiever people.
You would think that's I feel like a pretty good description of what you would imagine. So imagine that, right? Except he was like that, but over time, the more you get involved with all this, with Discord, with VR chat, that shit got whittled away. I don't know how. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just a case of addiction, or it's as goofy as it was when the video game addiction thing happened.
Yeah.
clearly it's real to an extent.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you
No,
get addicted to
you-
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if it's like an addiction type thing or if it was just like a severely depressed and this is an outlet, like escapism. But I was like, damn, this dude went from being like a top A, high, the best of the best achievers to falling down this rabbit hole. It's like Alice in Wonderland type thing. Except
I mean, he was down sinister.
he was down sinister.
It's probably happened to a lot of guys who don't know about.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about the dudes and who that happens to, and it's like you think of like 4chan and like Reddit.
This guy probably would pay for OnlyFans.
Exactly. He probably would pay for an OnlyFans, but even then, like I don't even. He probably does. He probably does. The fuck? How do I know? I haven't spoken to this guy in like 2 years.
How could you when he's addicted to virtual girls?
Virtual girls and yeah, literally people who only exist inside of a game world. Like it should be concerning when you go on his Steam and you see 1,500 hours in VR chat. You're like, woo, woo. Here,
I don't think I've done anything for 15 hours.
Yeah, I've probably done like 1,500 hours of sleeping.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sleep.
But like,
activity.
There's probably nothing I've ever done for a grand total of like 1,500 hours. That might be like the time you spend like watching like 10 shows over a year, or like 100 shows even over a certain amount of time. Like that is crazy. Now all that time is spent, and this is just VR chat. Like this is not including other VR games. If you probably total up the whole count, it was probably around 3,000 or 4,000 hours. Which I don't even know how many days that is. That's a lot of fucking days though. I mean, if you take 4,800 hours. 24 hours a day, you can calculate that. I'm not gonna do that. I already did too much math today.
Yeah.
But engineer moment for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just like nuts that can happen. But like you said, this is not an uncommon thing.
Yes. We only hear about. I've only heard about this from you, but
for sure. I mean, you probably see it. It's that idea of it happening where it's like you would hear about this. Particularly when you're dealing with people who are like this weird incel subculture on the internet, right?
Yeah, incels
are crazy, and
Are there incel engineers?
Oh, I feel like a good percentage of engineers are incels.
Wow.
I've heard some.
I was hoping that was a no.
I was hoping it would be a no too, but it's like that thing where you just. I don't want to say like every engineer is an incel, but there are some creepy engineers. Like that's a big generalization. Every engineer is not an incel. That's like saying that like.
Yeah, it's just crazy generalizations, but
there.
You think that computer science, if anything,
would be that.
Not to say computer science majors are strange or anything, but you hear like stereotypes.
Stereotypes.
Different majors.
If you want to talk about stereotypes, right? You have like obviously the computer science major. Like that's a very true stereotype. A lot of computer science majors in my dorm that I lived in, where not they were incels, but like they were the typical like don't go outside, just interact with people type thing, right? Like I remember meeting some computer science majors, and they were talking about like how they live in my dorm,
yeah,
Sullivan, and they were like, "That's crazy. I lived there too," and I was like, "Wow, you live there? How did I not know?" And then they're like, "I'm a computer science major." During the conversation, I'm like, "Oh, you never left." Especially when they would live like 1 to 2 suites away.
Right. That would be really
like crazy that they would never leave, and so you would never see them. And I mean, that's a stereotype that is very much like, I mean, all stereotypes come from some sort of basis, right? There is that type of thing where an engineer sort of has this. They're just like the nerdy type guy that you see in school. Maybe they don't fit quick with everyone. That's like the what people would consider like the normal crowd of just like the average person. So, but there are some that are just like socially awkward, and there are some that are actual genuine incels. I don't know any like specific like incels, but I know that I've had interactions that feel very like incel-like, where it's like the butt of the joke is like women, and it's like. It's not like a funny joke. It's more like, haha, women are you know, they belong to me. And I was like, oh, really creepy, man. Well, my friend, like, there's nothing much else to that story. I feel like he's definitely, I hope he's not an incel. You know, I haven't spoken to him in a long time. It's strange.
He's just lonely.
Just lonely.
I think our generation has like a lot of lonely people.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just men, just like people in general.
Yeah, people in general.
Are a lot lonely because various different things. One thing I think might be social media.
Yeah, no, for sure. Social media is a pretty bad, like, it's almost a drug, you could say.
The cigarettes of the 21st century.
They're really a big social media person.
The big, repeat statement by everyone.
I really do, like, that's a very typical statement. I don't use social media that much, and people are like, yeah, I don't use TikTok that much, and then they have, like, you look at their screen time, and it's like 4 hours of TikTok content.
Yeah, no, I have friends, like, this one girl that I know, like, scrolls on TikTok for 2 hours, and she was like, yeah, that was like a medium day.
It's like,
that was like a medium TikTok day. I'm like, medium, it's long.
That's long, yeah, the long day. But I really don't, like, I don't use Instagram. I use Snapchat's probably the most, like, there's a lot of shit that could happen, so you never know where you're gonna end up. That's pretty given about life, but shit's crazy, man.